now. Oh, it is a mirror match, black-yellow versus black-yellow Luffy.
It's actually going to be the fourth.
No, that's true, because they both count as one themselves. Oh, well, there we go for everybody. So,
All right, so once again, mirror matches often come down to who draws the better card, especially late, like who draws better cards in the matchup.
yeah.
It's sad to say, but like both of these players are 7-0. They're really good players. They're not going to be making too many mistakes, if any. If one does make a mistake, the other's going to capitalize on it and win based on that one mistake. Most of the time, there are exceptions. Whereas, like if Alan just does not draw any babies the entire game, he might just lose.
Or if Albert here, who's a different Albert from the last round.
Sorry, it should be Max.
Oh, actually, sorry, I do. Yeah, I just noticed that. Sorry, we haven't actually updated the name tiles here. So Max is the one on the left there, and I'm unsure exactly, who the other player is, but he's Eternal Magic. So we got PX3 versus Eternal Magic rivalry going on at the moment. But yeah, as we're saying, it really just comes down to how many geckos they see and also how many Sabos they see. Probably the Sabos a bit more relevant just because it allows them to cycle through their deck to find those geckos and those babies.
It's also really interesting to see as well. This is just going back to the aesthetics of the deck. Those alt art leaders they've got, they're doing that same concept in the new starter deck 22, I believe, the Luffy starter deck.
I believe so, yeah. They're also doing it for the prizing for regionals as next month. So we're getting the Karakuri, the Kadatsu, the Perona, the Drum Kingdom stage, the Brook, the 6-cost one, and I think it was the Fishman Searcher.
Oh, wonderful.
Yes. But interesting as well because obviously both of them don't want to hit each other, so it's going to be probably a lot of self-awakeners.
Yep.
But we'll see what happens here. Now, these players, since is undefeated round 8, they're probably going to go very fast here, so we'll try our best to keep up with what's going on.
So we've got the 5-cost Luffy Self-Awakener, which is probably the best one because that's a recurring Self-Awaken every turn. Whereas he's also got a Flampe and a Searcher on the left. On the right-hand side, oh, he's swinging, just taking.
Interesting, yeah. We did get a swing into Max there, so he's gone down to 3 life.
Maybe it's actually just what you do in the mirror. Maybe you just go with throwing hands and then eventually one of us is going to run out of resources.
Potentially. Oh, interesting. Max has now returned attack back to Aaron here. And then another attack as well. Let's see if Aaron takes this one. Is it just this gentleman's agreement, go down to low life here, early game? Or?
So really early on in the tournament, we talked about fun tech cards that you see. Aaron's actually on the Shirahoshi I mentioned. So that's a cost reduction Shirahoshi.
Oh, that was the one you were talking about. Oh,
yes.
Very interesting.
So it's actually a really nice play off Gecko if you don't need to go into double baby.
Fair enough. Well, he has trashed it there, so he could set himself up for a Gecko later on.
And it's also really useful for popping things greater than 4 costs in the deck, because that's where Black Yellow Luffy struggles.
No, fair enough here, but let's see what's going on here. So it looks like Aaron is now playing a Flumper. Yep, Self-Awakener. Getting a baby Luffy from the looks of it.
Has a Hiyori in hand.
Very interesting. And a Gecko as well, which is very nice for...
I don't think he's got any big beats, though, like big boys.
Just has to flick through his hand one more time, yeah. So, yeah, no, I just see 2 babies, a Hiyori and a Gecko, but...
You don't need to play cards.
No, you don't really need to. Again, it's just giving them free targets and just you don't really want to attack life. But interesting, though, Max is going aggressive here, getting him down to 1 life here.
And if you're Aaron, you're kind of okay with that because your leader effect is going to be online this turn.
Yeah, exactly. The only thing I can think maybe Max is trying to just put some pressure on him just because he's obviously not at 8 yet. It's not the best position to do lead ability before you get to 8 just because obviously you want to be able to combo it a little bit easier. But yeah, that's the only thing I can think. Maybe Max is just trying to go super aggressive here. But playing out the 5-cost Sabo and the baby Sabo, drawing in a Flumpe, and I missed the other one, apologies, but he's trashing a Rush Ace and a Self-Awakener. Luffy. And then just passed back to Max here.
Will Max have some fabulous tech that just lets him win this turn?
Yes, because he does have the baby Sabo in hand. Can't see too much of his rest of his hand, unfortunately.
Trashing a Gecko off the Self-Awakener is very unlucky.
Yes, it's very unfortunate. I do see he has another Sabo in hand, and I can't unfortunately tell what the back cards are. Apologies. Does have the Hiyori though, and another Flampe, so he can...
Yeah, Max does need to start thinking about how he wants to sequence his turns going forwards, just because he doesn't have those Gecko power plays just yet ready.
Fortunately not. Thankfully, in that hand, didn't look like there were any geckos. He did grab the
Oh,
Sabo, though.
Max is also on the 4-cost Shirahoshi.
Oh, very interesting. Must be a new tech that's coming a bit more popularized, but we'll see how that goes into OP09 if that does follow there as well.
Yeah, the format's going to shift massively in OP09.
Yeah, I think unfortunately Black Yellow isn't seen as much just because.
Blackbeard has a good matchup into it.
Yeah, Blackbeard
I
instantly
think
shuts it down.
Shanks is totally fine into it as well because, Gold Roger exists.
It also has the Ben Beckham, which trashes characters similar to the Brook, so it does in case around the Sabo non-KO effect. I mean, it's still represented, obviously, but yeah, I think like Anel and Nami, it definitely falls off a little bit. Choosing the block here was the Sabo, and then do they take another hit to the face?
I think he's just setting up his Gecko turn.
Yes.
Well, he doesn't even need to go for his Gecko next turn. He could.
He could potentially do it, yes.
And Max is responding with his own Sabo.
Which, fair enough. Looks like there's a lot of babies in hand. I'm choosing to trash the other Sabo.
I also respect Aaron's choice of Don of just looks like 10 Sanji Don.
I believe it is 10 Sanji Don. English ones as well, which is very, very nice.
So this is where the decisions of Black Yellow Luffy really come online. Like, you can't just be slamming Gecko without a game plan.
No.
You need to think, okay, what threats are my opponents going to be throwing at me this turn, and what can I do to mitigate those threats as much as possible?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, he does have the baby Sabo, so he can just get that 5 cost back in life. I did see there was a 3 cost Nami in hand, the blocker, so he can set up 2 blockers this turn and then next turn Gecko into something. So I think Aaron's chilling here. He's not really sweating too much.
And it looks like he's going to play that Nami. He had 3 Dons set aside.
Yeah.
There's not many other cards that cost 3 in this deck.
Not particularly, no. I think that might actually be the only 3 cost in the whole deck. Using lead ability here, I assume he'll probably just trash that other Luffy, the egghead one.
And you might as well swing as well this turn. Like, he's got a Self-Awaken a Luffy on board.
Yeah, you have nothing to lose in this situation. It just gets a card out of there. Potentially 2 cards, or he just takes the life. Oh, interesting. Decides to trash the Nami instead of just playing it. Oh, it does have another one in hand, so that explains why.
He also put the Self-Awaken Luffy on top, so he might have the baby and play that as well.
Yeah, he did get a baby earlier in the game, so yep, that's what his plan will be. Oh, Max very generous, giving him a dice there. TAC has provided dice, so thank you for that. A lot of One Piece players seem to forget their dice.
I feel incredibly called out right now.
You and the majority of the community, I think.
Yeah, so Luffy's going to go up to the 11k that he's been hitting. Ice Age is something you don't necessarily always see.
He did instantly trash it, so he does not need it this turn.
I think it's just not needed in this matchup.
Not particularly, no.
But you're going to be feeling fine as if you're Aaron. You've got 2 blockers that can't be KO'd.
Yeah. Now, it just really
Max
depends.
still has no Gecko as well.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't think he's seen a Gecko this game, unfortunately, besides the one he trashed there. But looking, oh my god, Max's hand is quite hefty there.
It is a book, but like...
He's got like at least 3 babies in there.
Has Max actually trashed 2 Geckos already?
I've seen at least one. I'm not sure about the second one. Unfortunately, the camera's just a little bit blurred out. I do see 2 Salvos on top, but I believe he's only trashed the one. So Max could just use leader ability.
Yeah, no, that's definitely 2 Geckos.
You can see a second Gecko? Okay, yeah, we can see just the outline of the second Gecko, just a little bit in the trash there.
So Max is... When we talked about in the mirror match, it comes down to the cards.
Yeah.
Max genuinely might be in a really rough spot just because he's lacking Geckos. He might be able to still capitalize on just swinging big numbers, but...
I think probably what he might do here is use lead ability, getting those 2 Sabos back, and then playing the 2 baby Sabos just to hopefully draw into those geckos.
The 2 remaining.
Yeah, the 2 remaining, hopefully, because he has gone for a decent portion of his deck as well, and the Searcher event that he did before didn't actually show any geckos, so...
Yeah. And Aaron's in a really good spot right now as well. He's got already a baby on field, so he doesn't need to do the full classic gecko combo. He can just play other cards.
Oh,
if
100%,
needed.
yeah. Oh, interesting. He instead of getting the other Sabo, he just gets the Rush Ace and 1 Sabo.
Maybe he's trying to go for game this turn?
I don't think so. Aaron's hand's still decently...
Yeah, and he's also 9k, so he shouldn't.
Unless he's just trying to build board and then hopefully maybe get a gecko off that Sabo. See how Aaron responds here. Yep, giving it a 2k. And then, yeah, playing that Sabo. Fingers crossed he gets a gecko here. Another Sabo and another baby, unfortunately. But, you know, another Sabo is never bad.
No gecko, and he's still playing this really smoothly.
I think he's just doing the best he can. He's obviously, this is a high pressure round, you know, going to round 8. This potentially could be the last round as well if we don't have another one after this. So
Yeah.
he's definitely calm, playing the best he can.
Forced like 3 cards out of hand. He's got card advantage in hand at the moment. Life advantage is not a thing in this matchup.
It really doesn't.
He's got board.
Got at least, I think he had at least 2Ks in hand, maybe. So yeah, I think Max is okay counter-wise. Yep, putting pressure on his board, seeing if he can get rid of it, because Aaron just probably is now assuming he doesn't have a gecko in hand because he didn't do it last turn.
Yeah, so maybe Aaron is just going to go for the classic like gecko play, baby Sabo, and maybe even just Shirahoshi, and then still swap 2.
Yeah, honestly, I mean, geckoing into either just Sabo or another Luffy is, or as you said, just into a Shirahoshi is good for him. The only thing he has to be cautious of, he does, I believe, only have the 1 gecko in hand, so he doesn't want to risk the situation that Max is in where he doesn't see another one. So it looks like...
I think you just need to capitalize on having a 9k beat stick every turn, just after it.
Playing out the gecko.
Or he could also go for the Nami and...
Yeah, that seems what he's doing. He's just sending up defensive board here.
Draw a card off Nami, play the Sabo.
See if he gets another gecko here, which he's probably praying for. There's another Sabo and baby Luffy, so unfortunately not. Trashing...
That is one of the things about the Black Yellow Luffy deck. It's like once you start doing this Sabo chain over and over, you start drawing every card in your deck.
Yeah.
Like, you're going to see the cards you need to see.
Oh, 100%, yeah.
But if you can't get it started, like Max feels to be struggling to get it started.
I think that's why he's been cautious with playing his babies out, because he doesn't want to go too hard too early, because if he doesn't see the gecko, say this turn, for example, then he's going to have to conserve them as much as he can. All right, interesting. So yeah, Max would have to put 2 under that ace to be able to hit.
Yeah. Looked like he was potentially going to go 11 with it, but...
I think it's a fair strategy just to hit away at Luffy, just try to at least get 1 or 2 cards out of hand. Yep, get another 2k. Playing double baby here. And both Sabos back.
I'll be shocked if he doesn't have a gecko by the end of this turn.
It'll be very incredible if he doesn't. Now, unfortunately, we didn't see what he got, but I don't think it was a gecko, unfortunately.
Don't worry, he's got other chances.
Come on.
There
we go. He's finally got it. He would definitely be a happy boy now. But let's see how Aaron responds to this. He's got to get through 2 blockers and a 9k body. Unfortunately, he does not have another gecko in hand unless he draws into one.
Yeah, this turn you really have to think about how you want to approach it. If you make a misplay here, this is where you're potentially just going to throw the entire game away.
Yeah. Because, yeah, Max has got a pretty good advantage here now. He's got, obviously 4 bodies on field, 2 blockers, and his hand side is pretty decent compared to Aaron's. Let's just see what he does here. I don't believe he actually has any babies left in hand, or nothing that is particularly useful. Saw 1 baby Luffy and I saw Flumpay. And yeah, this is a high level of play here. They're taking their time. They've still got plenty of time in the round. Just wanted to.
Yeah, 19 minutes remaining. You don't need to.
No, you don't need to rush it. It's only go 10 into the 8 Luffy.
Yep. I think clearing board as much as possible is going to help protect you on the clapback.
Oh, yeah.
At this point, you do have to be a bit worried that any card you're putting in life, if you don't play it,
Yep.
you're going to lose access to that card later on.
Oh, 100%. And Aaron as well, seeing the double Sabo blocker, has to assume at this point that Max does have a Gecko, especially if only one has been in trash. Going 10 here was the Luffy getting out, was a Hiyori and a Baby Sabo.
So he has a baby Sabo in hand.
And a Baby Luffy as well. So it looks like he's trashed the Garp. Oh, he might have 2 Baby Sabos? Oh, he does have 2. Apologies. I thought he only had the 1. So first thing, get a Garp and a Flumpay. Probably just trash the Garp, I'm guessing.
The 2 1Ks are probably the ones you need to get rid of, right?
Yeah. Get rid of the babies, get rid of the...
I think you hold the baby just in case.
Potentially, because he does have another Sabo he can play, and he has to trash anyway, so... I feel like hold the 2Ks just in case Max goes aggressive here. And yeah, Aaron's just double checking there probably how many 2Ks Max has seen this game. Getting a Kuzan and unfortunately a Luffy. And then, yeah, just pass him a turn. So
Aaron's hand is down to 3, so...
Yeah.
This is the risky part. Obviously, might be dead on board. Very low chance. But as Max, you've got to be thinking, okay, if I go for game here, what are the chances if he's got 3 2Ks in hand,
Yep.
do I lose on the clapback?
Personally, I don't think Max risks. I think he just does his typical Gecko into 2 Sabos because he has the 2 babies in trash, 2 Sabos.
Yep.
I don't think there's any reason to risk it, rushing it as either. Because he also now knows as well that Aaron doesn't have a Gecko in hand. So, and he unlikely would have kept that Gecko from those 2 trash because he knows.
But then
that.
again, he did just cycle 5 cards or 4 cards.
True.
So, yep, goes for the Self-Awakener Luffy. Might as well get all 3 brothers on field.
Might as well. Trusting a Kuzan then? I didn't see what the other one was. But
These guys just love discarding Kuzan.
yeah, I mean, if you see early game, fantastic. Late game, just get rid of it. It's an instant trash target.
On a side note, this game is so incredibly close. Both players down to 3 and 2 cards.
And I could be wrong here. Max has 2 2Ks in hand, and I think Aaron also has 2 2Ks and just some 1 random card in hand. So it's basically identical hands almost. And field is actually identical besides the rush ace. So
Yeah.
very interesting what we've got going on here.
Yeah, Flampe versus Rush Ace. Which would you rather in this case?
Oof.
Very tough call.
Yeah.
Maybe the Flampe, but probably not.
No, probably not.
But yeah, so the only other issue is Max can't put on too much pressure this turn.
No, the only thing The only thing he can really do is swing with leader, swing with Gecko, potentially.
Gecko was played this turn, remember?
Oh, apology, it was.
So it was just swing lead for 11,
Yeah.
which, depending on where he's swinging, might just be a block with Sabo moment.
Or even just counter out on Aaron's side because he's also at 9k as well, so it's not too much.
Do you want to go down to one card in hand, especially
True.
as Gecko,
But then,
as a Black Yellow Luffy player?
true. But also Max has only 2 cards in hand as well, and he does have a scary board. But I guess we'll leave it to the experts, see what they do. Yep.
Right,
So
he does counter out. Yep.
Drawing. I think that might have been a Kuzan. So Aaron could potentially have it here, depending how he sequences it. Personally, I feel like just swing with the Gecko first, just to test the waters, see if you have the counter or if you need to block with it.
It's really tough.
Yeah. Because as we were saying, at this level of competitiveness, it's one mistake and you get punished instantaneously.
Yep. This really does feel like it's the last turn.
I think honestly it is because Aaron.
He's either winning this turn or losing this turn, and based on like knowledge of hands, it feels like Max is gonna win this, but it
It really depends how we sequence it, to be honest, because Aaron at least has 5 attacks. He can block 2 of the attacks, and depending how Aaron's sequences get out of the other 2, if he just does 9.
True. Can he just go 9-9-9-9-9?
Potentially, because swing was Gecko. To say Max just counters. Swing another 3 was Sabo. Count the other one. Yeah, actually, potentially he doesn't even. Yeah, actually.
Does he have the? No, he can't do that. He's 1 Don short of that.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, because he can go 2 9s with the Sabos, but then that leaves 4 Don.
And if you dedicate, so he has to dedicate more to.
Or maybe he doesn't even swing with lead, to be honest. Just swing with the Awakener Luffy. Yeah, because you only need 1 attack to get through, and he can only swing 11. There was the 5-cost Luffy. Max does have enough to get out
Max
of
counters this, he loses. Oh no, he doesn't.
Yep.
Sorry, I kept thinking he had enough.
Block here. All right, and
Yep. So he's just going to put 2 cards in life and leave 2 Sabros up. So
we'll see what Max can do here.
Max needs to play a rush ace.
Potentially, I mean, let's see what he drew into. So he only has 1 card left. We haven't seen what it is. Did he get the heart of the cards moment? Did he get the one he needed? Did he get the Gecko? Oh, it looks like it was Egghead Luffy.
Luckily, though, that's a great 1 extra card in hand. You pay 5 for Egghead, pop it, kill the Flampe, draw a card.
That is true.
That's another chance of seeing another.
That is true, but he would need it for.
Oh, he needs another card as well.
He needs it for leader ability. Oh no, technically speaking, he could just play it, pop the flump, draw, and then use leader ability, I guess. But yeah, rough spot for both players here.
Yeah, so the other alternative is, does Max just go for board? And if that is the case,
I'm not sure.
Does he?
I feel like you just have to go at face because he has 1 card in hand. He's 100% not surviving next turn if he doesn't win this turn. But Aaron's got 2 life, 2 blockers.
well, Max can still live.
Yeah,
If he clears board except Flampe, well, he just is fine.
Potentially.
Although, actually, no, this is such an. He can only clear board if Aaron's willing to block.
Yeah.
If he's not willing to block, then he's just got 2 attackers as a win on the clapback.
Yeah.
This is such a tough matchup.
It really is down to the wires here. Oh, and looks like he's counted out there was Makino playing Luffy. Yep, pop in that. Hoping for something good.
And that's game.
Max
He concedes.
Yeah. Close game to both players there. Very tight. shows the expert skill that both these players have, and what you need to pilot this deck. Very unlucky for Max there, only seeing one Gecko, but Aaron also only saw one Gecko, but he just saw it early enough that it was more beneficial.
He was able to